again, everyone. It's me, Madame Macabre, once again. And today I've got a very interesting video to share with you all. I know. You guys have been asking for more story times. Problem is, your girl's out of stories. I mean, let's be real here. One person can only go through so many interesting things in their lifetime. I've told every story I could possibly think of right now, except for one. How about we tell your guys' story? Yes, that's right. We're gonna get more into Auntie Macabre's woo-woo stuff. So for today's video, we're gonna be doing a tarot spread. This is going to be a message that you personally need to hear right now. So it's gonna be just 4 cards this time. It's not gonna be a super huge spread, but I do have something very exciting. At the very end, I want you to stay tuned because there is gonna be something specially meant just for you. So I've got my lovely Rider-Waite metallic deck right here. I'm gonna get started with just 4 cards. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we'll put these guys over here for now. So, with these 4 cards, before I reveal them, I want you to take a moment, sort of clear your mind a little bit, and get your energy right for the reading. So card number 1 right here is going to represent the past, things you have gone through to bring you to where you are right now. All right. So, first things first, if we're reading from my perspective, we have the 10 of Cups in reverse. Now, the 10 of Cups is normally a card of harmony and fulfillment and just absolutely everything you need and want in your home life. But in reverse, it speaks a little bit sadder story. It speaks that there were some issues with the home life. There's some issues with relationships. There's some issues with, it could be friends, romance, family. Either way, this card speaks of having gone through some trials and tribulations in the past. Things were not always super sunny. There were a lot of speed bumps in the road, and quite frankly, you've gone through some dark patches that led you to where you are. For better or for worse, going through that rough period. Now, this could be far past, this could be recent past. Either way, in your past, you have gone through turbulence and all of those things that led you to where you are right now. We're going to jump on over to the next card, which represents things that are to be, things you are to experience. And this might help you. Here we have the 5 of Swords. Now, the 5 of Swords often represents, yes, on the one hand, it's a card of victory, you won. But if you'll notice from the symbolism of the card itself, the young man who is the victor, he's holding the 3 swords, and then there's the 2 of the enemies that are on the ground in defeat, and his enemies are sad and like crying and walking away heartbroken while he smugly smiles. Yes, you're victorious, but it's a reminder, be careful as you go through and you take on your battles, that you're not winning at any cost. Now, I can see how these 2 cards are tying together because having gone through some turbulence, having gone through some heartache and some painful bumps in relationships, it may have shaped you to just really want to get ahead, really want to move on, open that next chapter. But this card of what is yet to come is a reminder that as we go forward, it is important to keep moving on in mind. It is important to keep victory in mind. But it's also equally as important to keep compassion in our hearts and not let the pain from this chapter over here shape who we're becoming as we move forward. Yes, we do want to win. We do want to overcome. But remember that, everything has a cost, and don't let it turn you into a sharp, hard person that is willing to harm others as you go forward. Next, we have the outward expression. This is what I like to say is what people are seeing when they look at you. This can also be represented with what you are projecting out to the world. What you may not mean to be doing it, or you're totally trying, even if it's not how you actually are inside. This is what you're putting out to the world. Ooh, a major arcana. We have the Hermit in reverse. Now, the Hermit is an interesting card that speaks on taking time to yourself to reflect and to sort of put things in order, and sort of taking that time to be the hermit. Draw away, take your time alone, away from all the hubbub and everything going on, and, figure yourself out. In reverse, this card is telling you that you have been doing that for a while. You have been living as the hermit for a while. You have been withdrawn. You may not have gone out and done as many things, obviously, given the global situation at hand, wink, wink. But this is sort of telling you that time, at least people who are perceiving you, and perhaps you're putting this out there, they are perceiving you as somebody who has done their time as the hermit, and they are ready to start making a change. You've learned all the lessons that the hermit has had to teach you, and internally you can feel that energy stirring. You're kind of ready to leave that hermit phase. You want to step out. You want to harness the strength to leave that phase and keep those lessons that you learned in the phase. And people who are looking at you, they can also tell. They can tell that you're at this point where you're kind of ready to open that next chapter. You're tired of being the hermit. You've learned all those lessons and you are done with it. All right, finally, we have the card down here. What is going on under the surface? The subconscious influence. And we have, the 7 of Cups. So if you're familiar at all with numerology, 7s is a very important number in numerology. It is the number of introspection. Actually, back in the day, way back when numerology was huge in like the mystic arts, you would never actually be allowed to learn about numerology unless somewhere in your birth date you had the number 7, because they didn't think you'd be able to fully learn those lessons without that numerology special 7 in your birth chart. All right, so 7s, as you can see from the art of the card, there's this guy, he's like, whoa, there's a lot of cups in front of him. There's 7 cups. They all have different things. That one's got a dude's head in it. I couldn't tell you why. There are lots of choices in front of you right now. You feel like the road ahead can split in a million different pathways. And it's a lot, and it's exciting. You're coming out of that hermit phase to face the world and everything. It's just, things are different now. There's so many different routes, so many different paths you could take. And honestly, it can be hard and scary to move forward when you feel like that much choice is in front of you. And the 7, again, the card of introspection, is telling you that you may not have all of the information yet. Don't jump. Don't leap into making a choice. All of these cups may seem very enticing with all their interesting things in them, and you may think that is the cup for me. That's the one I want. But the 7 of Cups is telling you to slow down, pause for a moment, really meditate, reflect on these paths in front of you. That way, as you go and you reach for your cup, you are positive. It's not an impulse. You are positive this is the one you are meant to take. So, under the surface, you are ready to leave that hermit phase. But you also need to take your time and decide which pathway in front of you is going to be the most advantageous for who you are as a person now. All right, so here we have the whole spread as far as the 4-card spread. I did tell you at the beginning that there was going to be an interesting surprise at the end, so I will go ahead and clear these guys out of the way. All right, let's give these a good shuffle. So, we are now going to play 3 cards on the table. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you guys. Now this is an exercise that I like to practice on the daily. You need to close your eyes for a moment, take some deep breaths, and imagine yourself walking down a long and winding path through a beautiful forest. You can tell ahead of you in the distance that the path is going to split. You can either walk straight forward, you can turn left, or you can turn right. Which pathway has your answers? Go ahead and think about it. Choose your card. That is going to be the path that you are meant to take. Okay, got your card? Got your path? Those of you who chose the right. The 9 of Cups. Interesting to go along with that 10 of Cups, and it's also in reverse. The 9 of Cups is also known as the Wish card. However, it's in reverse, so be careful what you wish for. And I think this goes hand in hand with the introspection of the 7 of Cups. You might think, ooh, I want that. But did you really think it completely and thoroughly through? Are you just leaping at the first thing that sounds cool? Are you just jumping on it on an impulse, on a whim? Or are you wanting something really badly that kind of your gut knows isn't necessarily the best thing that you should be doing? It's maybe instant gratification that will make you feel good now, and that's why you want it. But you also know it's not the right path. This card is a warning. Be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. And if you do, well, it may not be all it's cracked up to be. So keep that warning in mind. That is good advice from the cards. All right, we're going to go to the middle. Middle's card is the Queen of Wands. Now, this is a mature energy of knowing what you want, of passion and spark. Wands being like fire. So things that light creativity and a spark in your heart. The Queen of Wands, she embodies having that internalized maturity. She knows what it is she needs to do. And she is confident, she is creative, and she is nurturing. So this card is sort of telling you, as you go forward, trust in your gut. Trust in what it is that's going to make you happy. You know what's going to make you happy more than anybody else out there in that world. So trust in that energy of the Queen. You likely, watching this, know exactly what this message is referring to. You've had it on your mind. You've had this thought on your mind. You know what it is that you're passionate about, and you might have been thinking about it, kicking the can down the road. Oh, I can't really do that. This card is your sign that it's time for you to pursue that, because you have what it takes to make that come to fruition. All right, and then we're going to go the pathway down the left. The Sun. This is one of my personal favorite cards. So the Sun is never going to be a bad card. I love it because it's very optimistic. So regardless of the struggles you went through the 10 of Cups reversed, with that disharmony and that instability in your relationships and your personal life and your what you thought were your goals and things falling apart in the past, the Sun reminds you to keep looking forward, to keep striving forward, because despite the cold, harsh nights that you've made it through, the sun is going to rise. It's just around the corner. So this card is literally telling you, keep your chin up. You're gonna get there. You're walking down the right path. You're gonna figure it out. All right, guys. Well, that is each one of you. Your unique advice based on your customized reading. I really do hope you enjoyed this. I know it's kind of a newer twist on the content in my channel, but I had a lot of fun doing it, and this is something that I'm really into. I've been doing tarot for years, and I've done reading at events. I've done lots of private readings, and I think it'd be really special and fun to start sharing that side of myself with you guys. If you liked it, please consider leaving me a like, and if you liked your reading, or if it clocked pretty true to you, let me know in the comments down below. I'm very interested to see how much this resonates with you all. So please let me know. And if you enjoyed this content, I'll be sure to bring more just like it in the future, and who knows what else. All right, guys, love you all, and I will catch you next time. Until then, remember, stay creepy, everybody.